I was in the middle of telling you about that, okay? So the moral book has 88 pages.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, 88 pages, if you look at the spirit of 88, in the nature, there is an element. There is an element that has the number 88.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
What's the number corresponds to oxygen?
Yeah.
What's the number corresponds to oxygen?
I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what I mean is that oxygen corresponds to 8. All right. But what's the number corresponds to 88? That's called radium. Okay. So radium is a metal. It's a metal. 金. And the lung is what element? Metal. Okay? Look into my eyes. This is serious. I'm having a very important conversation with you. Okay, focus. Other things can come later. 88, right? Do you know why the moral book is altogether 88 pages? It is simple, okay? It corresponds to the element called radium. And radium is a metal. And that metal is very, very precious, okay? But before its discovery, people didn't know about its unique property. However, Curie, right, met Maria. And Maria had to go back to Poland after her school. And then Curie invited Maria to come back to Paris. And the two of them started to work on a project. And eventually, that project led to the discovery of radium, a new element. And Curie was awarded Nobel Prize. Curie said to the world, that's my wife, Maria's contribution, significant enough that she shall share Nobel Prize with me. Now looking back, most likely it was Maria's main contribution, okay? Because after that, in any way, Curie actually suffered death from a accident, okay? You know the story, right? He was taking a walk and he got crushed. His head got crushed by a cart.
A car.
Not a car. At the time, it was the horse cart, okay? Maria continued the work, right? So eventually, radium, but Maria also died from too much exposure to the radiation. Radium is a very interesting element that can emit the electrons. Basically, then it's called X-ray, okay? It's not stable, so it keep on, like the atom usually is stable and the electrons rotate around the center. But the radium, it can release the electrons out from the atom, so it's called radioactive, okay? Now the word even, radioactive, comes from radium, okay? So the name radium was named by Madame Curie. Okay, the English word radium was by Madame Curie, okay? She gave the name to this unique metal, and it's, you know.
Yeah.
So, do you know X-ray discovery and now the one very, very important way of treating cancer is called radiation. So when people have cancer, they basically are subjected to 3 types of treatment. First, use surgery knife to cut out those bad cells. Then, those cells who didn't cut out and escaped, they are very sensitive to radioactivity. Normal cell cannot be killed by radioactivity easily, but the cancer cells, they are easily killed by radioactivity. You know why? Do you know why?
Why?
It's because the cancer cells, they have a unique character. They are highly metabolic, means they need to keep on burning down energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And their cell needs to keep on dividing, growing their numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're vicious, right? They want to grow, right? And consuming a lot of energy, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So when they keep on growing, that DNA replication process is extremely sensitive to radioactivity. So they are easily killed by radioactivity, okay? Radiance can selectively kill cancer cells, selectively kill those cells that are actively dividing. Got it? Yeah. So the moral book, do you know why it is page 88?
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's meant for curing a cancer of the human world.
Mm-hmm.
So the human world right now is suffering from a cancer. Okay? Now that cancer is triggered by communism. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Human beings who follow communism turn themselves into an entire heaven vicious cancer cell. In the eyes of the divine, the human being who follow communism is a cancer cell. Okay? So it is heaven's compassion to prepare a book and get ready for the end of the time when the Chinese people are going to die because of that cancer. It's called a communism-induced social cancer. And do you know who was the one first to make that diagnosis? That was Dr. Wang. Okay? So back in the year of 2002, October 21st, Noah's birthday, Dr. Wang was invited to participate in a very important event because that same week, President Bush invited Jiang Zemin into his home, Texas ranch house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Falun Gong practitioners started to go to Texas and started to put out the banners and started to show, the sign for President Bush to know that Jiang Zemin is an evil man. Okay? So, it is like a curse for America will start when Jiang Zemin come and invited into the president's home and honored as a special guest. Okay?
Yeah.
So Dr. Wang was inspired by heaven and prepared a lecture. And she first traveled to Washington, D.C., the capital city, and she gave a lecture at the National Press Club. Now, National Press Club, usually they host a very critically important event when big time event happens, right? Mm-hmm. And they gather the top-notch mainstream media, all the press leaders, they gather at National Press Club. And American government think tank people also gather there. And so that was a very important event, and Dr. Wang was invited to give a speech. Mm-hmm. What was the subject? Because it's about the China-American relationship. And it's about, how American government shall deal with communist China. So at the time, Dr. Wang was invited to speak on the subject called HIV crisis in China. Mm-hmm. Why she was invited to give a speech on that was because at the time, China suddenly had this strange phenomena of a lot of people dying from HIV virus, AIDS.
In China at that time?
At that time, yeah, it was huge amount of people were dying from AIDS.
That means by the transfer by the sex?
Usually HIV was transferred through, gay, right? Yeah. Gay. But China didn't have this much gay, and those people who died from AIDS were not gay, but actually poor peasants in the villages. One village after another, people are just keep on dying, and the diagnosis is AIDS, okay? What was actually happening was because of the CCP corruption. Okay, so the poor peasants want to sell their blood to get some money. CCP want to get the poor peasants' blood and build up lots of resource of serum, you know. So they basically collect a lot of poor peasants' blood. And in order to speed up the collection of the blood, they are injecting the cell back into the peasants in order to make sure the peasants will be able to survive because they take blood too fast. So when they inject the cells back into the cell, into the body, they got contaminated by HIV virus.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So it's basically due to CCP corruption and leading to the peasants all dying from HIV. Okay, and then the CCP corruption hide the situation and don't let the world know and don't take, you know, immediate help from the international community, leading to one village after another, people just dying out. So Dr. Wang was invited to talk about that subject. Okay, so Dr. Wang went over there and gave a speech, and this lecture was inspired by the divine. Because Dr. Wang sees that this is due to CCP. Okay, so Dr. Wang says that I'm a cancer researcher, and the reason I'm here to talk about HIV is because I see this social phenomena of HIV-induced deaths of the villagers is a late-stage cancer phenomena of a malignant social cancer that is triggered by the Communist Party of China. Okay, so Dr. Wang says that let me explain to you why I believe that to be the case. First, Dr. Wang showed all her incredible scientific research in the frontier cancer research field. Dr. Wang explained about what is TGF-beta to the press conference, okay? So the audience are the reporters and the think tank people. They are politicians, not the politicians, but they are not scientists. So Dr. Wang, from the Frontier Life Science, and give a public lecture, this time to the press leaders, to the think tank people who are into politics, right? Dr. Wang says that this is the most frontier discovery of the current cancer research. And we basically have find out that cancer has something to do with this situation. So Dr. Wang explained about TGF-beta superfamily, cytokine, okay? And how they activate the receptor, how they work through the SMADs. We're talking about, real science, okay? How the SMADs, regulate the cell and suppress cancer. Suppress cancer. SMADs, if SMAD is not working, all kinds of cancer pops out. Okay? So Dr. Wang says, I practice Falun Dafa. And Falun Dafa teaches 3 words, 真善忍, to be the fundamental nature of the universe. Truthfulness, compassion, forbearance. I see the manifestation of 真善忍 within the TGF-beta system. Okay? Look, SMAD uphold the truthfulness. If the SMAD is not truthful to the signal of TGF-beta, cancer starts, right? That's SMAD3. And the SMAD4 is a helper. SMAD3 cannot work with true potential without SMAD4. That's compassion. Okay? Truthfulness, SMAD3. Compassion, SMAD4, right? Endurance, SMAD6 and 7. Okay? Without SMAD6 and 7, there is no negative feedback loop. There is no tolerance. If there is no tolerance, there is no limitation. It cannot be a circle of the balance of the system. So, Dr. Wang says, I see 真善忍 true manifestation at the molecular level, and it's a powerful way to make sure that the whole body has no cancer. Okay? Because the TGF-beta system is the most powerful anti-cancer system in the body. if the TJ beta system doesn't work, cancer comes out. Okay. So after Dr. Wang finished saying that, all the people understand that. You understand that too, right? You understand what I say, right? 真善人's manifestation. So the TJ beta whole family operates through SMAD 3, SMAD 4, and SMAD 6 and 7. This is a 真善人 manifestation, gold standard to suppress cancer and maintain the health of the whole body. And anything goes wrong, cancer and the disease starts. Okay? Then Dr. Wang says, do you know why I think the HIV system, HIV caused large death phenomena is a cancer phenomena? This is because inside of China, the Falun Gong practitioners, right, are being attacked by the CCP. CCP view 真善人 as the enemy. And the CCP actually follow another 3 words, exactly opposite of 真善人. Okay? It lies, deceives the people, right? And it is vicious and emphasize violence, right? And certainly when you always want to have social struggle, there is no tolerance, correct? So it is called 假恶斗, and it's opposite of 真善人, right? And that is exactly the cancer phenomenon. Okay? So cancer cells, then I show what has found out in the cancer cells, what went wrong, for the cells that become cancerous, right? And it's exactly like the CCP character, right? So Dr. Wang says, therefore, right now, for example, the HIV, it's called a AIDS village. AIDS village means the HIV virus, start to kill the villagers, right? This is a complete case manifestation of the CCP lies, right? Hide the truth and no mercy, no love for the people, right? And always want to, basically encourage violence among the people, right? Because when the people inside of China, when they try to reveal the truth about AIDS village, the Chinese government arrest those people and they try to kill them. So I said, this right now is basically a case, a social case of late stage cancer phenomena, social cancer. And then Dr. Wang further says that currently America wants to do business with China. And this is called metastasis. It's called cancer cell metastasis, okay? This is called letting the cancer cells have blood vessels innervated into the cancer. Like Western business go to China to do business with the Chinese CCP people. It's basically feeding blood into a cancer cell and make the cancer bigger. And then let the CCP people come into America. It's almost like let the cancer metastasize into America.
Transfer.
Yeah, that term in medicine is called metastasis. Means migration of cancer cells into normal places. Okay? So Dr. Wang concluded that, basically it's time to cut out, right? Cut out the foreign trade with, try to invest into China. Okay? Not to let the CCP infiltrate into America, hinting Jiang Zemin should not be allowed to try to bring CCP element into America, right? And so Dr. Wang says, 法轮功, 法轮大法, 真善人 shall be spread in America and to develop immunity towards this vicious social cancer, right? So that was Dr. Wang's speech on October 21st, 2002, Noah's birthday. After she finished the lecture, the whole audience just big time clap, right? And Dr. Wang came down from the podium, think tank guy, very, very, serious, came right to Dr. Wang, shook her hand. This was the first one, also the same one. Before Dr. Wang's speech, Dr. Wang was just getting a little bit of breakfast. It was a little refreshment before the speech. He came to Dr. Wang. So, who are you? I'm Dr. Tang Wang. I'm one of the speakers. Oh, very good. What are you going to speak about? HIV, AIDS village, and but you told me you're a cancer researcher. Why are you talking about HIV village, right? Oh, Dr. Wang thought, this needs to be addressed, right? So he was the one reminded Dr. Wang to explain why she was there as a cancer researcher. So that really helped the people to understand her background as well. After she finished, this man came to her, shook her hand and said, Do you know what, Professor? This is the first time I see and I understand so clearly about frontier science, frontier life science data is being applied to address a social problem. And your lecture was completely shocking and awakening and full of insights. And I recommend you to please write a book on this subject because it's so important. You must do that. That's what he said. At that time, Dr. Wang says, oh, okay, all right, I will try, So Dr. Wang remembered that very clearly. And she was planning to do that project as soon as she returned to Seattle. Guess what? The moment Dr. Wang went back to Seattle, entered the room, Mr. Allen came to her with divorce document. When you were away this whole week, because she first went to Washington, D.C. After that lecture, she flew to Texas. She spent the rest of the time together with practitioners, right? And so she went to the airport. Jiang Zemin's airplane was about to land, right? All the practitioners, thousands of the practitioners, Dr. Wang was one of them, was standing right on the airport, waiting. And it was really amazing. The sky was blue. When all the practitioners were standing on the Fazhenyan, the sky was blue, right? When Jiang Zemin's airplane landing, ready to land, suddenly the whole sky turned black. Serious. I mean, we're really talking about energy system here. Jiang Zemin travels with a whole bunch of, invisible devils. It was just truly like in the movie, like, the sky became black, dark, and the storm started. And the wind was so strong, was ready to lift everybody up. And so the practitioners were standing there, or Fazhenyan, right? And some practitioners were really blown and ready to fall down. But Dr. Wang was standing there, motionless. So powerful, So anyway, Dr. Wang went through there. The rest of a week, Dr. Wang was all Fazhenyan, day and night with the practitioners, right? On the street, with a banner, right? Fazhenyan, only Fazhenyan because there is no other thing you can do. So Fazhenyan, after doing all of that, Dr. Wang went back to Seattle, had to really now enter a big time test. So that was her test started. Okay, and Mr. Allen Wang divorced, right? was that how? And so with that, Dr. Wang didn't write a book. But Dr. Wang didn't forget about the promise, It was, something that basically I think need to go through the process, right? So
No,
reason.
you can. No.
Exactly so. So this is the time. That's why I'm trying to bring all this together. And this is a very, very important book. Don't forget to behind me, okay? Keep on reminding me, okay? HMAD president need to read my book. He doesn't understand the viciousness of communism. He doesn't understand what really happened to HMART storefront. I'm going to write a lot of things I'm going to keep on sending to him. I'm not giving up on him, okay? Because he needs to know what is really going on, okay?